And welcome back to Hannity. The left has reached a whole new low with its attacks against the Tea Party. In a fundraising email to his supporters yesterday, Florida Congressman Alan Grayson included this picture of a burning cross with the cross as the letter T for Tea Party, as you can see here. Now, there are people wearing white hoods standing around the cross, and under the image on the mass email, it read, quote, "Now you know what the T stands for." Now, earlier today, we reached out to the congressman's office for a response. We received a bizarre, rambling diatribe from the Congressman Grayson himself, including a series of unsubstantiated claims about what unidentified T members have allegedly said over the years. The statement concluded, quote, "There is overwhelming evidence that the Tea Party is the home of bigotry and discrimination in America today, just as the KKK was for an earlier generation. If the shoe fits, wear it." Pretty unbelievable. And to make matters worse, this all comes only a few days after the liberal lawmaker said this about the Tea Party.
I think that ordinary Americans are with the president. They're appalled by the Tea Party's tactics, where they come to the president and the Congress and say, if you don't let us steal your car, then we're going to burn down your house. They're appalled by the way the Tea Party cheered on the shutting down of the government, cheered on the fact that we put our credit at risk for a generation to come. And they're appalled by the enormous expense, the fact that this shutdown ended up costing America $24 billion. That's almost $100 for every man, woman, and child in this country. Frankly, they want their money back, and they want the Tea Party out of their lives. At this point, the Tea Party is no more popular than the Klan.
Here with reaction from the TeaParty.net, Niger Innis and Democratic strategist Richard Fowler. Gentlemen, welcome to the program. Niger,
thank you.
I'm a proud member of the Tea Party. I have been at rallies. Most Tea Party people I know, they clean up after themselves. I've never heard any bigoted statements. There are people of all racial backgrounds in the Tea Party that I know and that you know. What's your reaction to that?
I'm a leader within the Tea Party movement.
Yes, you
are. And I'm a rock star in most places where the Tea Party operates, and
That's
I come
true.
out to speak. There's no question about it. Look, Sean, you know this. For years, I've been talking about this phenomenon called the Al Sharptonization of the Democratic Party, which ironically Al Sharpton doesn't even do anymore. But these guys are into racial demagoguery, into the most coarse race baiting possible. That's why I want your viewers to stop this and join me in stopping this by going to my website, nigerinnis.com, and sign the petition to end race baiting racism, because it is racism. End it now.
What do you think, Richard Fowler? I mean, you going to stand by what members of your party are saying?
Listen, I think there's a lot of people that have called the Tea Party names over the past couple of weeks, including formerly one of their own.
Why don't you answer
John
my
McCain.
question? Are you going to stand by and are you going to support that statement by Alan Grayson, a member of your party? Do you think that's appropriate?
Well, Alan Grayson has been very clear to say that the Tea Party has held this country hostage and wasted $24 billion
He's
of the
comparing it to
American
the
people's
Klan.
money.
I mean, I don't know what part of this question you're having a hard time understanding, but I'll say it slowly if you need it said slowly. Do you support and agree with, do you condone what he said?
Listen, Sean, like I said, I think there's a lot of people calling the Tea Party names.
I didn't ask you if there's a lot of people. Let me say it again even slower. Do you agree and support what Alan Grayson said? That's a yes or no question.
Well, I think what Alan Grayson is saying, and where I agree with Alan Grayson, is that the Tea Party's popularity rating is close to the rating of the Ku Klux Klan.
I didn't ask what the popularity rating is. You notice Niger, he doesn't want to answer this question, does he? This is an easy question.
You know, I actually understand why Richard is doing what he's doing. He's trying to distract the American people. And, of course, the Democrats want to make the Tea Party the issue, and they want to destroy the Tea Party. I wish there were not establishment Republicans helping them to try to do that. But I can understand what Richard is doing. He's trying to distract from the fact that we are $17 trillion in debt, that there are nearly 50 million Americans on food stamps, that women employment is the lowest in 24 years. And this is after 7 years of a Democrat-controlled Senate, after 5 years of a Democrat presidency. And check this out, Richard. I'd like you to comment on this. In a YouGov poll conducted last summer, by 2 to 1, Democrats believe the American dream is dead. So with those types of abysmal statistics under Democratic leadership and a nihilism that exists among Democrats, I don't blame you, Richard, for trying to make the Tea Party the issue.
Just one second. Wait just one second. The reason why the American dream is in peril has everything to do with the fact that what we've seen from this Republican Party is they've trampled on women's rights when they refused to pass the Violence Against Women's Act. They've trampled on LGBTQ rights. They've trampled on the rights of African Americans by not renewing the Voting Rights Act.
The reason the economy is not doing well is because Republicans have trampled on the rights of women. Is that what you're really saying? That is just dumb. That is just ridiculous.
Wait a second, Sean. I'm going off the point that he made, that he said the American dream is dead, and how we're the ones that are
trampled on the rights of women.
I didn't say that.
And African Americans. That's just not true.
Richard.
All right, let me go back to the subject. Let me go back to the subject at hand.
Hang on. John Boehner and the members of the House of Representatives don't get the work. They can't get the work done.
Let me go back to the rhetoric, because the president says, you know, the Republicans want dirty air and dirty water, and they want to throw Granny over the cliff, and we see all those ads. You know, the president also lectures on discourse in this country. And I ask you a simple question about Alan Grayson calling Tea Party members, comparing them to the Klan, and you don't have the moral strength and fortitude to say that's just inappropriate, that's not true, and that's wrong. Are politics that important to you that you cannot just state the obvious, that was dumb of him to say it, and it's inaccurate and untrue? Do you have the integrity to just admit that? I'll ask you one last time.
Wait a minute, Sean. Wait a minute, Sean. The argument that I think is very clear here is that Democrats are the only ones throwing names at the Tea Party. John McCain is throwing names at the Tea Party.
Give me an example. Give me an example. Give me an example.
John McCain called the Tea Party out and called them derogatory names
You're not giving me. Give me a comparable example where some conservative in this country is referring to the president as
John McCain called the Tea Party hobbits last week.
John McCain is a Republican and he's not a conservative.
And if the Republicans
most conservatives don't even agree with him.
Democrats are throwing stones at the Tea Party. Perception shapes reality. There has to be a problem.
You've answered our question. You don't have the courage to do it, so I got it. We'll give the last word to Niger.
Richard, I hope you join the millions of Americans that are sick of this race-baiting racism that's an insult to our heritage as black Americans. Go to NigerInnis.com, Richard, and be the first one to sign on to the petition.
All right, we got to go. Thank you.
I won't
Richard, we appreciate your talking points. Thank you. You did a very good job of reading them.